Hi, it's Divya G. What does the G stand for? The G stands for girl, you were thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, but you weren't gluten free. Rupi kaur. Hold your sunglasses before we get to the shade. Can I just say that I do actually enjoy reading some of these Insta poetry or like Tumblr poetry because okay, before y'all rip apart my wig and whip my flat ass back to the Reformation, I do acknowledge and appreciate the fact that some of these poems acknowledges, you know, personal trauma and enables those, especially those who are like a minority, to have and be able to express and vocalize their experiences and talk about the, you know, taboo. But boo, does this look like a review to you? I know some of y'all just clicked on this because y'all want the tea, and that's what I'm gonna serve, honey. I think that Insta poetry actually brings about a really important discussion, not only to the way how poetry and literature and prose is becoming sort of really commercialized for the masses, and it's sort of just being about selling and marketing, and it's just incredible to see how poetry is kind of evolving, because on one hand you have, you know, a lot more engaged youths, you know, the kids these days, but on the other hand I can't help but feel as if a few of these poems suffer from what I call the Lele Pons syndrome, as in it's pretty on the outside but there's not much substance on the inside. Oh, honey. I mean, you've got to hand it to these poets. It takes a lot of skill to write about things that are just so obvious. So I'll make a how to write Insta poetry, slam poetry video one day. But anyway, let's make this cover.
Hello everybody, welcome to my ASMR how to design a Tumblr hipster poetry book cover video. Anyone can cook, anyone can create Insta poetry covers. And I'm not gonna do that. Forget minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I'll give you a very simple formula for how you can create your own cover like this. Honestly, it's gonna be so simple, you will not believe. Okay, so we gotta start with the background. As always, you want a solid block color for your background, something, keep it simple, either something pastel or something a little bit bolder, but for today we're gonna go with an off-white. White girl poetry, also because it's plain and it's generic, kind of like the verses. And then next, all you really need is a title in a serif font, preferably typewriter, because, you know, only real poets write on a typewriter. Or alternatively, it can be handwritten and kind of cute looking. I think for our title, we should go with tab and enter, because if you look at the structure of a lot of these poems, there's a lot of blank spaces, and it's either because, you know, they can't fill it, or because they think, you know, space makes everything deeper. It's just a metaphor. And then that's kind of literally all you need, and just place it somewhere randomly on the page. But if you want to be a little bit extra, you know them Instagram bullet journal doodles? Honestly, just find an Instagram account, close your eyes, pick one, copy that, you know, pot plants, flowers, cigarettes, but not because we're trying to be edgy, but, you know, because it's a metaphor, Hazel Grace. So I'm thinking we should have a woman spreading her legs, because the topic in a lot of this poetry is about feminism and empowerment, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just stating the obvious. Please don't kill me later. It was at this moment I realized I made a serious error 400, and I started contemplating If I experience consciousness, how do I know if your consciousness is the same as my consciousness?
Tupac
Is
and
my
Biggie?
red the same as your red?
What is the meaning of
If
life?
a gingerbread man
Who I
lives in a gingerbread house, is the house made of him, or is he made of the house? I also realized that I can't draw with a mouse, so I use the drawing app on my phone. I was butter, and he tried to spread me, but I had just come out of the fridge. Rupi kaur. I'm thinking we should have some flowers around, you know, the hoo-ha knickknacks, because, you know, she's about to get pollinated. And let's embed an enter key, because, you know, it's just a metaphor. And that's literally it. That's all you do. That's it. This is how you create a Tumblr hipster poetry book. Like, I have nothing else to say.
If you want to hear more of my sarcastic dry wit and self-deprecating humor, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. A potato flew around my roof before you came. Excuse the mess you made. It usually doesn't rain inside of California. Honestly, the way some of these poems are written, like, if you're supposed to be spilling the tea, why is the tea so lukewarm?
Happy New Year! I just want to take a sip of tea if they'll let me. They told me there would be tea. Oh, it's a disaster. Okay, well, we'll just have to rough it. I'm going to be just like everybody else with no hot tea.